with us this evening to take part in devotion as we continue with our Shiva Satsang, leading up to that most auspicious celebration tomorrow, Mahashivratri. So welcome to those who are physically present here, and also welcome to those who have joined us in our live stream, and also welcome to those who will be joining us as we proceed with our evening's devotion. Welcome to each and every one of you. So as we have done in the past few nights, again tonight, we perform pranayam to bring the body under control. We perform meditation to bring the mind under control. Wherever you are, sit upright, keep your spine straight, keep your head still, and close your eyes. As you close your eyes, you begin to focus within, and we focus on that incoming and outgoing breath. You breathe in deeply and out slowly. In deeply and out slowly. In deeply and out slowly. Each time we inhale, we feel more peaceful, more calm, more relaxed. Each time we exhale, as that breath leaves our body, together with it, we feel all the negativities in the form of tiredness, lethargy, sluggishness. They have been washed away from within us. And when we inhale deeply once more, as that pran, that highly oxygenated air, passes through all of our organs, we get a revived feeling, we get a divine feeling, the feeling of vigor, a feeling of strength, a feeling of positivity, a feeling of oneness with the divine. We continue that action, and in the mind's eye, we paint a mental picture of Bhagwan Shankar, that one who is known as Shantaras, the essence of peace, Vrishavahan Bholenath Nagaparana, Trishuladhari Damaruvala. That Lord who we are about to worship this evening, solely prepare ourselves to celebrate that night of Shiva. And we prepare ourselves as a child sitting at the feet of the Lord, with your hands clasped, your heads bowed, and you're receiving the darshan of the divine. So as you inhale and exhale, we recite Om 3 times. We join. ओम सदा भवानी दाहिनी हे सन्मुख श्री गणेश 5 देव रक्षा करो सूर्य ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश 5 देवताए नमः। ओम शन्नो मित्र शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रम नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायु त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सीता अनुज समेत प्रभु नीलजलदतनुषां मम हि बसहु निरंतर सगुण रूप श्रीराम। ओम सिया राम मैं सब जग जानी करहु प्रणाम जोरी जुग पानी राम नाम मणि दीप धर जी हदे हरिद्वार तुलसी बीतर बाह्यो जो चाह सो जियार श्री सीतारामचंद्राय नमः। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धना मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ओम मृत्युंजय महादेव त्राहि मां शरणागतं जन्म मृत्युजरारोगै पीडितं कर्म बन्धन। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शुभम शुभम कुरु कुरु शिवाय नमः। ओम बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। Now devotees, as you're about to begin, we go to glorification of Gajanan Swami, followed by Divine Mother, followed by Bhagwan Shankar, Satnarayan Swami, Surjanayan Swami, and then we go into our discourse for this evening. So simple Kirtan again once more, everyone, wherever you are. Put the voices together. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Om 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 Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Om Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Om Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Om 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 Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Oh Jai 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 Ganapati Deva Oh Jai 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 Ganapati Deva Gajanana He Gajanana Gajanana He Gajanana Gajanana Bolo Gajanana Jai Jai Gajanana Jai Ganapati Deva Bolo Jai 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 Ganapati Deva 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 बोले श्री गणपति बाबा की जय. Now devotees focus on the Divine Mother. This evening glorify her Saraswati Ma. Bhajanat, I'm sure everyone will be able to follow. He Sharade Ma, Agyanta se, Hame Tarade Ma. Ato Mother Saraswati, we ask of you to remove the ignorance of darkness. O Ma, you are mother of sound. All melodies emanate from you. You are the form of speech. O Ma, I am incomplete without your blessings. I take refuge at your feet, O Divine Mother. We ask of you, Hamko Ujalo ka sansar di Ma. We ask of you to remove the darkness from our minds. and bestow upon us the boon of devotion, knowledge, Gyan, wisdom. So this is the prayer, we join. He Sharade Ma, He Sharade Ma, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ,
हे शारदे माँ, हे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
तू स्वर की देवी, संगीत तुझसे हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे तू स्वर्ग देवी, संगीत तुझसे हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण हम हमें प्यार दे। बोलो हे शारदे माँ,
हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
मुनियों ने समझी, गुनियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों की वाणी। मुनियों ने समझी, गुनियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों की वाणी। हम भी तू समझे, हम भी तू जाने, हम भी तू समझे माँ, हम भी तू समझे माँ, हम भी तू समझे, हम भी तू जाने। विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे। बोलो हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे
हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे। तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे। मन से हमारे नितारे अंधेरे, मन से हमारे नितारे अंधेरे, हमको उजालो का संसार दे माँ। But we ask, Divine Mother, this ignorance is like darkness that clouds the intellect, that prevents us from seeing the light as such, the wisdom. That is andhakar, this darkness envelops all of us, O Divine Mother. It's like a depthless ocean. We are unable to extricate ourselves from this depthless ocean. But O Mother, मन से हमारे मितारे अंधेरे, हमको उजालों का संसार दे माँ. We ask of you, Divine Mother, to please destroy this andhakar. Andhakar means darkness. Destroy the darkness of ignorance from within us, O Divine Mother, and bestow upon us the light of wisdom, divine wisdom, Gyan ka suraj, the light of divine wisdom. And when one has the light of divine wisdom within them, then, as we say, you see the light. What it means, you see what the reality is. You're not clouded by the difficulties, the truth of Maya ke Jal, the net of this world that we live in. And once we are free from all andhakar, all darkness, all ignorance, life becomes a divine song. Powerful devotees. मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरे. And devotees, this itself is a prayer. We're singing this song, but it's a prayer. You can use these 2 lines alone. मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरे, हमको जालों का संसार दे माँ. Just that alone you can use as a prayer. मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरे, मन से हमारे, मन से हमारे, मन से हमारे मिटा दे अंधेरे, हमको जालों का संसार दे. बोलो हे शारदे माँ, 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 हे शारदे माँ. अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. Devotees, simple Kirtan everybody. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. We glorify the 3 forms of main form of Devi. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Simple. We put our voices together. Oh Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Kali, Jagannatha, Kali, Jagannatha. Kali, Jagannatha, Kali, Jagannatha. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ma Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ma Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Kali, Jagannatha, Kali, Jagannatha. Oh Kali, Jagannatha, Kali, Jagannatha. Everybody, bolo. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Oh Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Hey Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, Jagannatha. Bole Sri Achakino Devi Mata Ki Jai. And devotees, now we focus our attention on Bhagwan Shankar. The bhajan, I'm sure everyone knows. Om Hari Hari Hari. Beautiful bhajan, devotees, praising our Lord and Master, Bhagwan Shankar. Om Hari Hari Hari. Har tu mahardam pyar. Bhakto ke hit ka. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Shiva Om. So devotees, focus upon Devokadev, Mahadev. In front of you, 2 beautiful forms of the Murti, the Lingam. If you cannot focus, you can open your eyes and look at the Murti. If you're able to, close your eyes and go within yourselves. For this is what meditation is about. focusing upon that Lord and Master, absorbing yourselves, occupying the mind, filling the mind with that Lord. And is indicated that anyone who meditates upon that Lord and Master Bhagavan Shankar, for he is known as Shantaras, the essence of peace. It is said, peace comes to one. All difficulties are removed. He is known as Varadata, the granter of boons. Vrishavahan, the one who removes poisons of the negativities from our lives. Bholenath, the friend of the poor. So devotees, he is Dina Bandhu Bhagavan, the protector of his children, his servants. And we are all children in the face of that Lord. We are all servants of that Lord. So devotees, in your own way, surrender yourselves to the feet of that Lord, pour your hearts out to that Lord, seek his protective shelter. And when one does it genuinely, tatkal as we say, immediately, one can be freed from all difficulties. So we join beautiful bhajan. Om Hari 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 Haratu Maharadama Pyar Bhaktu Bhitata कैलाशपति भगवान
कैलाशपति भगवान
ओ कैलाशपति भगवान ओ तेरो जता में गंग विराजे
तेरो जटा में गंग विराजे
ओ तेरो जता में गंग विराजे
तेरो जटा में गंग विराजे
तिरुवले में रुद्र की माँ हर तुम हरदम प्यार तो की हितता वो तेरो आसन है परमा भगवान,
तेरो आसन है परमा भगवान,
वो तेरो आसन है परमा भगवान,
तेरो आसन है परमा भगवान,
तू ही है सर्वशक्तिमान, तू ही है सर्वशक्तिमान, हर तुम हरदम प्यार, भक्तों के हित का दब।
हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम शिव ओम, 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 हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम शिव
So we do this for a few minutes to join. हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो,
हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो,
So we do this after consulting Bhagwan Shankar, glorifying our Lord, calling the different names, describing him as such. Hey Shiva Shankar, Namami Shankar, I make obeisance to you, Bhagwan Shankar. Sharanagati, I surrender myself to you. I believe in you, I believe in none else. Humility, self-surrender. Namami, Namami, Bhagwan Shankar, I make obeisance to you. For you are that form for peace. You are that form that removes all negativities. From a philosophical point of view, Vairagya, Tyag, these important qualities that must exist within us in order to really achieve in life. So devotees, when we meditate upon our Lord and Master Bhagwan Shankar, chanting his name, just by chanting his name alone, the vibration is there, all impurities are removed. So devotees, we put our voices together. Hey Shiva Shankar, Namami Shankar, Shiva Shankar Shambho.
हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो,
Oh Hey Shiva Shankar, 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 Namami Shankar, Shiva Shankar Shambho.
हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो,
हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर,
भवानी शंकर भवानी शंकर,
हे गिरिजापति, हे गिरिजापति, हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर,
भवानी शंकर भवानी शंकर,
भवानी शंकर, भवानी शंकर,
भवानी शंकर भवानी शंकर,
शिव शंकर शंभो, शिव शंकर शंभो, शिव शंकर मिलकर पाहिमाम रक्षमाम, पाहिमाम, I make obeisance to you, Prabhu. Rakshamam, protect me from all negativities. We join. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Rakshamam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Rakshamam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Bolo.
Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya, Rakshamam. Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya, Rakshamam. Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam.
त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्ष्य मामृतात्। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम मृत्युंजय महादेव त्राहि मां शरणागतं जन्म मृत्यु जरा रोगै पीडितं कर्म बंधन। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। And our devotees, we focus on Suratnarayan Swami, followed by Satyanarayan Swami. Again, beautiful bhajan. I'm sure everyone will be able to follow. We join. Asking our Lord to, as we said earlier, remove the darkness from our lives. And we ask our Lord, Suratnarayan Swami, Gyan ka suraj, He Bhagavan, to shower upon us that light of divine wisdom. We join. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
भक्त कर दे हमरा अधिकारी, भगवन राधिकारी।
भक्त कर है हमरा अधिकारी, भगवन राधिकारी।
कदम कदम पर किरण बिचारे, भगवन किरण बिचारे।
कदम कदम पर किरण बिचारे, भगवन किरण बिचारे।
इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे,
इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे।
ज्योति से पहचान,
ज्योति से पहचान।
Everybody.
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी।
हम तो है संतान तिहारे, प्रभु संतान तिहारे।
Devotees, हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी। तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी। That we are your children, O Prabhu. तेरी दया, show your compassion upon us. Show your compassion upon us, O Prabhu. We seek your protective shelter. That's what this line means. हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी.
हम तो है संतान तिहारे, प्रभु संतान तिहारे.
तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी.
तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी.
तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी.
तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी.
दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी,
दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारे.
ओ दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी.
दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारे.
ऐसा दे वरदान, ऐसा दे. Everybody, बोलो. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान. Devotees, let's put the voices together. Satnaya Swami, Surinaya Swami. Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om. Om Jai Shri Satya Deva Bolo
नारायण
Narayana
नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय श्री सत्य देवता.
नारायण नारायण ओम विष्णु नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम विष्णु नारायण नारायण ओम विष्णु नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय श्री विष्णुदेवा बोलो
नारायण
नारायण.
नारायण ओम विष्णु नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम विष्णु नारायण नारायण ओम विष्णु नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय श्री विष्णु देवता.
नारायण नारायण ओम लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण ओम लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय श्री लक्ष्मी माता.
नारायण नारायण ओम लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 ओम लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण ओम लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय श्री लक्ष्मी माता.
ओम जय श्री विष्णुदेवा.
ओम जय श्री विष्णु देवता.
ओम जय श्री सत्यदेवा.
ओम जय श्री सत्य देवता.
ओम जय श्री सूर्यदेवा.
ओम जय श्री सूरज देवता.
नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम. ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय श्री सत्यदेवा. ओम जय श्री सूर्यदेवा. ओम जय श्री सत्यदेवा. सन्मुख श्री गणेश पांच देव रक्षा करो श्री सूर्य ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश श्री पांच देवताए नमः बोले श्री पांच देवता की जय And our devotees, as usual, before we go into our discourse for this evening, we will have to present beautiful bhajans that will help, as we say, all of us, every one of us. Because no matter how much you know, there's always some more that you need to know. And there's always something that you are unaware about. So when you hear all these bhajans, devotees, as mentioned every night so far, it charts the course as such for our journey in life. And this bhajan, I love it very much. I haven't sung it in a while, but I love it very much. And it says, Aye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela. Do din ka zindagi hai, do din ka mila. In this world I come alone, I go alone. Do din, we're here just for a day or two. Just for a day or two. And everything that we have in this world is short-lived, as we see. Short-lived. It is mere temporary. It is mere temporary. This entire zindagi, we see, this world is like a marketplace. We come here based on our karmas, we perform our actions, we do what we have to do, and we depart and we go. And I like to put it my own little way. When you go to the market to buy your vegetables, you don't live in the market. You buy what you have to buy and you come back home. Sometimes they kick out the vagrant to say, well, go outside and sleep in the pavement. When you open the morning, you come back. Even them can't stay in the market. So nobody can stay in the market. Everybody had to return to their home. And where the home we speak about, it's not the home here or where you live, the home. Back to where we came from. Back to our original place of abode. We say the feet of divinity. So when in the bhajan tells us, Aye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela. In this world I come alone. And in this world I will leave alone. And you see, as we mentioned yesterday again today, the faster you recognize these principles, the better it is for us. When somebody dies, devotees, when you look in the coffin, what you see? Just the body alone, nothing else. As I keep saying, you might see a bank book, but there's a book. You might see a piece of paper saying deed, but that's just a piece of paper. You might see the insurance for the car, that's just the insurance, that's not the car. You understand what I'm saying? You can't carry nothing with you. And you try to make it so, base. You can't even carry your own body, people are to put it for you. You understand what I'm saying? So in this world, you come alone. Even twins, you say, Baba, they're born together. They can never born together. You must have, if it's a split second cell, they must have somewhere. It can't be a split second. But what you're trying to say, the smallest amount of time, there must be some separation. Never together. Even when you die together, some tragedy, 4 or 5 die together, they still burn you separate and put in different casket. You understand what I'm saying? So if you look at it, you come alone and you go alone in this world. But a mere marketplace. All of us here just for a certain period of time, a temporary amount of time. But what is the most important thing? काहे तो आया जग में क्या तुझको करना नीके कर्म कर ले. We have to ask that question. Where have I come from? Where am I going? What is my purpose of life? As I mentioned, to return back to divinity. Perform all actions. As mentioned last night, when Bhagavad Mahapuran tells us, Oh Lord, deliver me safely into this world. Give me the human form. And upon getting the human form, I'll perform all actions that are necessary to give thanks to you for giving me the human form. This is what we mean. The karmas that they perform, the action we hear tonight, karmas, what karmas could do? Negative karmas, but you have a way of freeing yourself. But devotees, nike karma karali, dunya se darana, dunya means world. So the karmas that they perform in this world is what really determines. Papa ki agar mein khud go, kahe tu dhakela. The pap, the sins that we create for ourselves. Getting caught up in this mud pond. Maya ke jal, we keep using these terms. I want to use these terms. It's not because we just want to say Hindi, It means something to us. Maya ke jal. Jal means net. And what a net does? Not tie up. When you throw a net, they catch it. They tie up the fish. So now they catch a lion and throw a net over him. Well, me and my son throw a net over people just want to take them. But the point about it is that net jal ties you up. It binds you. So we say Maya ke jal, the net of delusion. And that is what it is. It's a delusion. Everything we have around us, devotees, transitory, as we say. Fickle and fey. Krishna Bhagavan says that in chapter 2. And I advise again, you really want to understand the nature of the body, nature of the soul, etc. Read chapter 2 from verse 11 to 27. You'll have a very good idea, a synopsis of the nature of the body, nature of the soul, and this whole world that we live in. So we say it is temporary because it changes. But there's a solution. Hari ki sharant ho ja, dhyan lagaya. Hari ki sharant ho ja, dhyan lagaya. Find that time
to perform meditation to the feet of that Lord. Surrender, Sharan means Sharanagati. We know the 6 components of Sharanagati. Perform all injunctions, avoid all prohibitions. You believe in God, I believe in none else. Humility, self-surrender. Sharanagati. Haliki Sharan. Have that faith. Surrender yourself to the feet of that Lord. Perform meditation, dhyana lagaya. And it is said, devotees, what happens? After you perform such actions, blessings will come. And then it finally says, Ye zindagi hai pyare, ek jhoot. Ye zindagi hai pyare. Pyare means, beloved, right? Means that, sages, holy ones, etc. Friends, ones who are close to you. Ye zindagi hai pyare, ek jhoot sapna. That is, the world is impure. It is impure. It is a mere transition from one point to the next. But what happened? This entire world is but a big game. And we're all playing part of that game. But at the end of the day, we're all strangers. We're all strangers. None of us, we are here permanent. You say, Baba, how are we strangers? Die my wife, die my husband, die my children, die this, die that. Yeah, but if it was permanent, you wouldn't leave. The mere fact that we have to leave and go, strangers, not permanent. Nothing belongs to us. Nothing is ours. And then the final line, I love it very much. Mai hua akela. Mai hua akela. In this world, I am alone. I am alone. Everyone lives alone in this world. We are alone. We may have close near and dear ones. But little simple example, when you're sick in the bed and you're lying down, you have headache or you have whatever, your children come and say, let me squeeze your head for you now. Let me jar you now. You just feel good? You had a pass for yourself. Those are just mere ways of facilitating. But at the end of the day, you alone have to go through whatever situations exist there to be overcome. So you see these bhajans, these are not dead man bhajan, these live in man bhajan, I always say that. So when you die and you're lying down there, you can't hear nothing. You see us who live in, we have to listen to these bhajans. We have to take these lessons and apply to our lives and make our lives a divine song. So devotees, we join this bhajan and we go into our katha for this evening. आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला. So devotees, when they say go to a funeral, they say, wow, they play nice bhajan too bad. Listen to it, but apply it to your life too. Don't say they play nice bhajan for the dead man. The dead man can't listen to no bhajan. It's you have to listen. You see us now, as the one of the bhajan says, ye ghari na jaye beat. Now is the time. Now is the time. If not now, when then? When you see things gone, no devotees. Apply them now. And by applying it now in life, life becomes a divine song. आए भी अकेला चाहे भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला चाहे भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला. जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए मतलब कि यार सारी सब है पराए. जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए मतलब कि यार सारी सब है पराए. इनके लिए है कितना तुझे दुख जले 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला चाहे भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला. तुझको करना काहे तू आया जग में क्या तुझको करना. नीके कर्म कर ले दुनिया से डरना. काहे तू
आया जग में क्या तुझको करना, नीके कर्म कर ले दुनिया से डरना। पाप की अगन में खुद को काहे तू धकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। हर की शरण तुझा ध्यान लगाया, जीवन मिली ना फिरे जीवन को पाले। हर की शरण तुझा ध्यान लगाया, जीवन मिली ना फिरे जीवन को पाले। खेले जगत का सारा उसने है घेरा, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। झूठ सपना, ये जिंदगी है प्यारे एक झूठ सपना। गैरों की दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना, ओ ये जिंदगी है प्यारे एक झूठ सपना। गैरों की दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। सबके रहने हुए सबके रहने हुए सब ही रहने हुए, मैं हूँ अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। So devotees, the most we can do is give the advice, but everyone has the responsibility for themselves. And again, I'll quote as I did last night, and the night before, and the night before, and every service that I do, man elevates himself by himself, man degrades himself by himself. One is one's own friend, and one is one's own enemy. Keep that in your mind. That is the lesson of life, as we say. Because as I mentioned, when the Sri Ram said, Kal hi karma hi ishwar hi mithya dosh lagai. Don't blame time, don't blame karma, don't blame God. Mithya dosh, false blame. Who to blame? Blame yourself. So we are responsible. And here again tonight in our katha, and sometimes devotees, all the kathas are different, stories as we say, but all tells us the same message. Tells us the same message that man needs to develop himself. We have the macrocosm on the outside, microcosm. Nothing we could do about the outside, Everything has to go on as it is planned. And as that mentioned, something comes to my mind, that when we listen to scriptures, there are 3 ways that we can unravel, the mysteries of scriptures. One is what we refer to as the experimental outlook. So the experimental outlook, you see the stories that we have? That's the experimental outlook. You listen to these stories and enjoy it. Yes, Ramayana Katha, Shiv Mahapuran, Bhagavad Mahapuran, Devi Bhagavad, Bhagavad Gita, whatever it may be. Experimental outlook, the story as is. Then there's what they refer to as the cosmological outlook. What is the cosmological outlook? The laws that govern Nitya. Cause, effect, the law of karma, reincarnation, all these things. Cosmological effect, outlook. Those things don't ever change. And then there's what they refer to as the metaphysical. How whatever we hear is applicable to us. So whenever we listen to scripture, it's not just one angle only. This is why when we do a discourse, as the Vakta, as we say, the one who is delivering the discourse, we try as best as possible to deal with the 3. Because you know why?
we have people of different levels in the audience. We have intellectuals here, I know that for a fact. But generally speaking, we have different levels. Some like the story. Some, well, the laws of nature are always there. Then some like to analyze what the story means. So sometimes when you go to a discourse, you don't only take one angle, high philosophy only, you might lose some of them. Neither don't remain that basic story. Then you might lose the others who want to have a higher nature. So this is why when we say listen to scriptures, from these three angles, we have to deliver the discourse. So what we see in here, that is a cosmological happening. The macrocosm, nothing we could do about the outside. But the katha itself, when you listen to the katha, the lessons, etc., metaphysical, how it can apply to us. And we keep hearing regularly, that the scriptures is like a spiritual mirror. It is a spiritual mirror. Whatever is in the scripture, she reflected back to us. And if you see there a discrepancy, what is taking place here, and what we have inside here, we know we have house cleaning. We have work to do. And this is why we come to the satsang, you know. The food good too, yes, man, the full belly good after, you feel nice. You understand? But the point about it is that, as we mentioned last night, the sravan, the manan, the listening and the internalizing, let it go to the catchment area to the heart, analyzing and rationalizing, etc. This is what is important. This is what really helps us to elevate in life. This is what really helps us by analyzing. So here, devotees, whenever we listen to the kathas, we try to, take it from these triangles, and whichever aspect that it falls in, experimental, metaphysical, but the point about it is that we try to create a balance. So here, devotees, as mentioned last night, Shiv Mahapuran, and tonight again, we take another katha from the Rudra Samhita. The Rudra Samhita is the seventh book of the fourth book out of the 7 books of Shiv Mahapuran. Right? There are 7 Samhitas, 7 books. The Rudra Samhita is the 4th out of the 7. Last night we reached from chapter 5 and 6. Tonight we look at chapter 17 and 18. And just to mention devotees, you just want to say that this particular katha here spans 10 pages, and we obviously can't reach 10 pages. Nobody could read 10, we can't read it. Nobody listens to 10 pages. So this is why what we do, we go through the katha, we condense it in such a way, we put it in a nutshell, and try to give all the different angles of the katha in this little bit of time that you have. So devotees, this evening, last night we listened to a beautiful katha of that Brahman, Suvar. This evening, we listen to another beautiful katha of another Brahman by the name of Yagyadat and his son, Gunanidhi. One of my most favorite kathas. I love this katha very much. And they deals with, as a matter of fact, let me give you the power of the katha first, so you will listen. Sometimes when I give you the power after you see power and thing, and then you say, oh, God, if I only know, And then Pach Taiga, you want to regret at the end. So he said, whoever listens to the story narrated of Yagyadat and Gunanidhi, right? Listening to this particular katha, individuals who listen to the katha, all desires are fulfilled, all negativities are washed away, all pains are removed, all agyan are removed, and gyan comes, wisdom. So this is the power of the katha. This is why we say listen to the katha. Listening is important. Listening. So here, devotees, we begin. So Narad Muni, again, Sutuvach, Suta Singh, as we mentioned last night, he's relating the kathas to the host of sages, Sonak Rishi and the host of other sages. And devotees, they heard of this particular katha, of a particular lingam that goes by the name of Chandrakeshwar. Chandrakeshwar. And hearing of the blessings of this Murti, this lingam Chandrakeshwar, the said devotees, they became very, very enthusiastic in listening to more of the katha. And not only that too, but anyone who I mentioned earlier, who listens to this katha, they said, great happiness come, friendship with Bhagwan Shankar come, welcomes, all prosperity comes to one. And they ask, oh Narad Muni, oh Suji, true Narad Muni, oh Suji, please relate this katha to us. So devotees, we begin from this point. That in a special village, a particular village, there was a Brahman. The village name, Kampilya Nagari. Village ka naam, the gaon ka naam, Kampilya Nagari. And within this Kampilya Nagari, a Brahman was born. And his name was Yagyadat. Yagya means sacrifice, Yagyadat, one who makes sacrifice. And when you say Yagya here, devotees, it's got to understand. Yagya means where you see, You build a big Singastan, you'll invite 500 people to cook a set of food. Ramayana going up, people pak all about. I know, big tamashas we see, that's a yagya. Yagya means sacrifice. Even your own home, you can do yagya. Sitting by yourself at your home, making the sacrifice. Perform a sacrifice genuinely, that is yagya. In your own home on a Thursday, perform your havan whenever it may be, that is a yagya. So different types of yagya. So this here devotees, yagya dat, one who perform sacrifices. So this yagya dat was born in this village, and he grew up to be a very, very great orator. One was learned in Vedic literature, all parts of Veda. So devotees, as indicated here again, that in every aspect of life, he maintained his responsibility as a Brahman. And last night we gave that, the karma of a Brahman. We're not going to do that again. But he maintained his responsibilities as a Brahman, performing of his havan, engaging in study of the scripture. And this is an important point. We have the 5 obligations, Spash Maha Yagya. 5 obligations that you must do on a daily basis. Dev Yagya, you must pray every day. This is why you offer jal and put flowers and things. Dev Yagya. Then you have Manush Yagya, service to mankind. Pitra Yagya, to the ancestors. Bhut Yagya, lower forms of creation. And important he has mentioned, studying of the Vedas, Rishi Yagya, the scriptures. Every single individual, whoever you may be, and it's not only for Hindu, this is everybody. Whoever you may be, reading scriptures on a daily basis is a sadhana, is a blessing, is a divine quality. So here devotees, this Yagya Datta, he performed all his sacrifices. He performed, all his duties as a Brahman and also engaged himself in reading of the scriptures. Now devotees, to him and his wife was born a son by the name of Gunanidhi. And Gunanidhi, Gun means qualities, Nidhi means fountain. Gunanidhi, fountain of qualities, but it depends on the type of qualities you speak about. So Gunanidhi devotees was born in that home. Now, at a certain age, what the Brahman did, as the responsibility of all individual Brahman in particular, you do Janayu Sanskar when the time is right for your child. He performed his Janayu Sanskar, etc., preparing him, and not only that too, he taught him everything that he needed to know with regards to performance of his dharma, his responsibility. He did it very, very well. Very, very well. But devotees, what happened? After some time, it is said that he got himself involved with negative company. Easy that is, eh? That is hard at all, That's the easiest thing to do. Sometimes you do personally. You see people going on the correct path. All of a sudden, bam, you can't find them again. When you catch them whenever, ulta, wrong side, next direction they go on. It's easier for them to go the negative path and come to the temple in the correct path. Easier. That's why I say, just a lack of a better term, the devil always at work. The devil always at work, as we say. That means that negativity is higher than positivity. It's easy for them to get distracted. So here, even though Gunanidhi was living in a Brahman home, the Brahman performing all responsibilities as he's supposed to. He did it for some time, but what happened? After some time, he started to do what? He get involved with negative company. And one of the most gravest sin that is indicated in Bhagavad Mahapuran started to gamble. Bhagavad Mahapuran gives us 5 great sins, 5 grave sins that terrible. 1, alcoholism. 2, gambling, and others. So here devotees, what he did, he began to gamble. And you know what gambling is about, right? So you will play something to win something. Give something to get back something. That's gambling. So what he would do, devotees, he got himself involved in this gang of individuals gambling. And while doing that, devotees, obvious, in gambling is a chance you take in. You win and you lose. And when you lose, you think you go win again. This is how gambling is. That's the addiction, Analyze it and see. Every time you lose, no, next time I go in. And the next shot I hit them. You lost, no, next shot I hit them. I get it and I'm making back 3 times the amount. And this is like throwing ghee in fire. Bigger flame. That desire, that attraction is there. So devotees, in this way, he became a gambler. And what he did, in order for him to gamble, he must have things. And what he would do, the Brahman, a very, very auspicious man, he would be performing sacrifices all about. And we all know that, when the Pandits perform puja, you offer whatever you have and things like that to the best of your ability. It is said that when the father bring home these things, he would just put it down there. Not paying attention. Right now his mind, he is studying that. He just put down whatever he had there. And he'll leave it because his mind is totally focused on responsibility. But what good need he will do? He will steal that from the home. He will steal things from the home and go and gamble it out. And not only that too, he'll give his friends extra so that they will remain his friend. I remember a long time, I bribe plenty children's pencil learning, Instead of lecture in primary school, they carry 3-4 Milo pencil again. I met man, the French will come back there one time. So I understand what they're saying here. So he will give his friends things, but not pencil and pen. What he will do, jewelry, clothing, so many things he will steal from the home. And gamble it out, lose it, but also give to keep friends. And the devotees is go on so for a long while. Now devotees, as I mentioned, that the father, a great Brahman, he focused on, yoga, etc. Not worrying about any of these materialistic things. But his son now, in his own home, listen to what he's doing. Now, it is said that the mother should always cover for him, for he was the only son. The mother always cover for him. So whenever the Brahman come home, he will say, "Oh Patni, where is my son? Where is my son Gunanidhi?" And you'll hear what the mother will say. They say, "Oh, he has now finished completed studies and he went to the river to take a bath." Or, he has now completed, his duties home and he went to pick flowers to go to the temple to offer prayer. Or, he'll be with his friends, he's playing somewhere wrong, making up excuses for him. Making up excuses for him because she knew that he was such an individual. And the mother will protect him, hiding the truth from her husband. Because why? She was afraid that her husband will find out, this Brahman, what her son is doing. And devotees, but this Yagyadat, he's totally unaware of what is taking place. He's unaware of the activities of his son. And this happens, devotees. Sometimes you live in a home right there and you know what's going on. It happens to many people. You live in a home right there and you don't know what's going on. So here devotees, Yagyadat was like that. In that home there, performing his duties, but not knowing the activities of his son. Not knowing it at all. And devotees, it is said that he continued like this. Now, the mother said at one point in time that, she put her son to sit down. She told her son, "Sit down by me here. I want to explain something to you. You see, what you're doing is not the right thing. You're not doing the right thing at all. Let me advise you, on a daily basis, you perform all sorts of negative qualities. You do things that is not the right. And your father is very, very harsh. Your father has a harsh temperament. And he should come to know of whatever you're doing. Oh son, you know what's going to happen. Both of us will have to leave this home. But I'm asking of you, please, try to change your mentality." She would plead with him. But you think he taken on the mother? She said, "Oh, try to change your evil deeds. Try to change. Your father is a respected man in society." You know what I said? Your father is a respected man in society. And by you being in such activities, he's going to lose his respect. And children sometimes don't seem to realize that, They don't seem to realize that. So this katha is a mundane katha, a katha of life. Sometimes we have individuals, I'll use the example myself. If I were to do something wrong, you think they'll say, "Oh, mother do something wrong?" They'll say, "Watch Harry Pondit grandson. Watch son, that son. Playing Pondit all about, and watch what he doing." You understand? So what will happen if Keshav do something wrong, Agni do something wrong, they'll call my name. So they always call the name of the parents. And when you see, if you go to that Kishkinda Khan Katha, when Shri Ram was Age Chale Bahura Goraya, was going there, and then Vibhishan sent Hanuman, "Convert yourself into a brahmachari and go there and test and see who are those two individuals. If they have been sent by Bali, I have to run. I have to fled here. I cannot stay here. Test and see who they are." And when Sri Rama Lakshman, spoke to Hanuman, who was in that brahmachari form, what they did? They identified themselves first by Raja Dashrath, their father. They identified themselves first by the father, for the father is the foundation. So here, what the mother is saying, "Now, son, your father is well known. He's well respected in society. He is of noble character, noble behavior. Not because of his wealth, because of his own doing, developing himself. Therefore, why are you doing such actions? Why? And not only that too, if you continue with such actions, then individuals will get to know. People get to know of your actions, and that is going to bring the name of your father down. That is going to destroy your entire family. Be like your father. Change your mentality and be like your father, one who is graceful, one who conducts himself in the proper way, one who has humility, one who is following the path of piety. Therefore, son, avoid this evil path. Avoid. But devotees, going and need done, absorb already that negativity, you know. It's like a sticker. You see, like you walk on something and your foot stick up, you can't come out of that so at all. Exactly as it is. So he already engrossed. Already engrossed. And devotees, she said, oh son, your father is also, used by the king to perform his sacrifices. We gain our livelihood by that. And the king himself should find out what is taking place. Then obvious, he's not going to ask your father for anything again. So devotees, a whole long thing, but the point about it is that she tried her best to, influence her son to go to the correct path. But devotees, that didn't work at all. It didn't work. It never go through one ears. It bunks out the ears and come back. If it bunks the ears at all, it's good. He didn't take anything. That evil-minded son, whatever the mother said, like they say water and dog back, it just wash out. Nothing else was absorbed with him. And devotees, she just gave up. Because nothing else she could have done. And they said here that Guna need he. What he did? He continued his evil actions. He continued stealing, and going and gambling. Going and gambling, losing. And he's a kind of gambler, never win, He always losing. There are some people who, no matter how they gamble, losing, everything they losing. They play a mark and they lost. They play again and lost. They play again and lost. They never win. He was one like that. Losing, never winning. But yet still, that habit, that addiction of gambling was there. That addiction, that grave sin, that addiction was there. He was like he obsessed with his gambling. Now, devotees, we move forward. And they said once the father was coming, was coming from puja. And while walking along the road now, there was a person sitting there. And when he observed the hand of the person, he saw something very familiar. Very familiar. What he saw? A ring. Just like his one. So he said, wait, I never saw a ring like that. This is a special ring that was made to give to me as charity as such. How come he could have such a ring? So then he confronted that individual and said, Bhaiya, where you got that ring from? You stole it from my house. Because nobody else had a ring like that except me. You came and you steal it from my house. Give me back my ring. The gambler, he was a gambler also, He said, hey Pandit, you said I stole this ring from your house? How could you accuse me of such action? I didn't steal this ring from your house. I won this ring from your son. Now the Pandit became astonished. How many won this ring from my son? Say your son is a gambler, don't you know that? I started rub salt in wound. See, when they say knock it down, they want to knock it down hard, especially if they're going up in society. The faster they can pull it down, the better. So here devotees started to, pong the Pandit, as we say. You calling me a thief? Talk to your own son. Your son took this, he stole this ring from your house, came here, gambled and lost it. Lost it. And I have it now. Not only that, he came and gambled many things. So the king is, the Pandit is listening to him now. He said, many things? He said, yes. He came and gambled away his mother's sari. He gambled away his mother's shawl. He gambled away many things from the household and all he lost. All he lost. As a matter of fact, O Panditji, no gambler is bigger than him. So you know what that is? That a real insult, He is the utmost of gamblers. No gambler is bigger than him. He stole right here. He stole clothes from your home. He stole jewelry from your home. He stole silverware from your home. He stole costumes from your home, cosmetics, bronze, copper, so many different things that he stole, and he came right here and gambled and lost all. As a matter of fact, he was so desperate, one time he gambled out his own clothes, and he was stripped naked. Such the extent he went. He said, so Pandit, don't call me a gambler. Don't call me a thief. Speak to your son. Speak to your son. And devotees, only when he's a parent, you'll understand what that means, you know. You see, who's not parent something as yet, will never understand those things. The embarrassment. Embarrassment. Sometimes devotees are mentioned, when you see things like this happen to you, thank God, you know, we know many people who it never happen, but have people who it happened to also. And I say, Baba, the burning that I felt inside, no amount of water could cool that. The embarrassment I felt, I started to sweat from head to toe, Baba. That embarrassment, Baba, oh God, I don't know what to do. You understand? So you just, things like this cannot be really expressed, you know. You have to feel it to know how it feels. So here devotees, gonna need he was such a person, bringing shame to the lineage of the father. So the Gambler said, oh, Pandit, I know how this talk here, Pandit. You know the kind of way they say it now, when they want to embarrass you, right? I don't say the other word. But they say, Pandit, don't speak to me, don't call me a thief, don't call me a chore, speak to your own son. For he is the greatest of all gamblers. No gambler is bigger than him. Out of all of us who gambles in a circle here, he is the biggest gambler. So devotees, now the father, this embarrassment, like he couldn't take it. And what did the devotees? All he could have done, long time those Pandits will walk with the Anucha. You see the thing around the shoulder now, Anucha, I don't know English for it, Anucha. He took that devotees and he covered his head. Covering his head is a sign of, you know, trying to avoid shame. Covering his head, and as fast as possible, he ran home. He ran home. When he gathered with home, no devotees, he's in a totally different state. Now remember, all this started from the mother, eh? All this. And the mother, from the very beginning, when his son started, she didn't correct him. She allowed him to continue until he reached a stage, she had mentioned 18 years and over, she couldn't control him again. This is why we say that when you see you have your young ones, you try to control them from young. And you know the beautiful saying, you can't straighten the tree when it gets big. You can't, the tree bend, you can't straighten it when it's already grown. You have to straighten it when it's young. You put your stick, etc., and you straighten it. So too, the young ones, you keep them in track from young. You can't wait when you reach 18 years and then you want to put things in their head. That will never happen. That will never work. So here devotee is already a big man. So now he went to his home. And simply put, what he did, he asked his wife, oh, Patni, oh beautiful one, I was coming from puja. And my mind, he didn't say what happened, eh? Just in a technical way now. My mind ran on that beautiful ring I had, that diamond-studded ring. And the devotees, I'm going to describe that ring, a big diamond top with plenty gold all around. Right? So that's how the ring was. A diamond-studded, gold-plated ring, a gold ring. Where's that ring? I now came to my mind. So then, what the mother said, oh, you remember when I was massaging you and rubbing you with oil? I took out the ring from your finger and I put it in the pot, in the safe somewhere there. I can't remember where it is. She said, oh, he said, oh, okay, no problem. Get it for me now. I want to use it. And then excuse upon excuse now, trying to cover up. Well, right now I'm very, very busy, oh husband. Very, very busy. I'm preparing for puja. I'm picking the flowers. I'm preparing the prasad. And not only that, tonight we're expecting guests. And you know how you are fond of guests coming to your home, you know, to take part in satsang, etc. So I'm very, very busy. Very, very busy. And I'll find it another time. So in this way, she just passed it off, devotees. Pass it off. Now, you get that? He already know what is taking place, you know. Already know what is taking place. And then he started to ask, okay, no problem. But remember I gave you that silk sari I got when I performed that sacrifice and it was offered to me, that beautiful silk sari, where it is? I started, simply put, he started to call it a whole set of things here. A whole set of things he started to call. But devotee, she could not count for none. She could not count for any. Why? Because all gone. All was gambled away. All was lost. And devotees, what he did? It is said there and then, like what Bhagavan Shankar did on the first night, when he disassociated himself from Sati. It is said that he disassociated himself. He said, I brought into this world a son who is a kaput. Not a saput. A kaput. Or what is a kaput? You have kaput and saput. Some means good, kam means bad. So saput, a good child. You bill 100, he bill 1,000. You know, bill upon the name, carry up everything. And then have a kaput. You leg down 1,000, he leg down 1,000,000. Mash up everything. Everything karmandal is upside down. So this individual, Gunanidhi, a kaput, not a saput, he destroyed the whole lineage of the family. So what he did, he told his wife, bring some water for me. And what he did, devotees, he put some black tilaning there and he do yun tarpan. He did his own tarpan, freeing himself, cutting his attachment to the family, and he moved on. Now, the second part of the kata is coming here. But before we do that, devotees, let us engage in a beautiful kirtan, glorifying Bhagwan Shankar. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Rameshwara Shiva Rameshwara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Rameshwara Shiva Rameshwara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Gangadhara Shiva Gangadhara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Gangadhara Shiva Gangadhara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Jatadhara Shiva Jatadhara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Jatadhara Shiva Jatadhara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Nageshwara Shiva Nageshwara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Nageshwara Shiva Nageshwara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Bhuteshwara Shiva Bhuteshwara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Bhuteshwara Shiva Bhuteshwara, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya. Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya. Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya. Bole Simapati Mahadeva ki jai. Now devotees, Suji Maharaj is continuing. And the sages are becoming more and more excited now, as we are supposed to be, like a beloved. What is going to happen next? What is going to happen next? Oh, Suji, please relate to us what happened after. Let us listen to what happened to Gunanidhi. We are very anxious to listen to the outcome, what happened to him, and not also him, but his mother. So devotee Suji Maharaj said, Suno, that Brahman, he disassociated himself from the family and he moved on. Now in that home there, Gunanidhi and his mother alone remain. But devotees, you think he changed? He got worse. He got worse. On a daily basis, he will steal and steal and steal. And devotees, remember the Brahman not there anymore, So nothing coming in. Nothing coming in. So whatever reserve was there, it was stolen. As a matter of fact, it's indicated here. One day he beat his mother mercilessly. Mercilessly beat his mother. And took every single cent that she had. To do what? Not to go and buy clothes or to buy food or to go in the grocery, to go and gamble it. Go and gamble it out. Until devotees, it is said that there is such a stage, she couldn't take it again anymore. The mother couldn't take it again anymore. And what she did? There's a well in the yard. She went there and jumped in the well and killed herself. She jumped there because this boy beat her every day. Mistreated her, ill-treated her. And sometimes I say that is fallacy. But don't think that is fallacy, Have many families, children in particular, had to be children, that abuse their parents. Just we don't hear about it. We don't hear about it. Sometimes you see everything on Facebook with poor home and thing. But that happened real here too, in life, Hitting them, beating them. When they see because they're old and they're feeble and they can't help themselves. But they didn't realize that one day they were young like you too. I wonder you're going to be like that. And you see, according to Vedant, we have cause and we have effect. We have cause and effect. You have effect, cause concealed, and cause, effect revealed. Always remember that. If the cause, effect concealed. So you do something, the effect of that is concealed. That bears yet, like the plant the tomato seed. It bears yet. That's the cause. But the effect of that cause is the tree. So when you start to reap the fruits of your own karma, that is the effect of the cause being revealed. This is Vedant. And this is for all of us in life. And nothing goes unrecorded. You know, Paramacharya always speak about Chitragupta. Chitragupta. And Chitragupta is all of us. The recording ability of the mind. We know what we have done, and God knows. So you may do something and Keshav might know, or Jaya might know, Uncle Sundar might know, but I know, and God know. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole point about it is that everybody knows exactly what they have done. So here, this boy, Gunanidhi, beat his mother so bad. And mercilessly, no care whatsoever. And this happens, when you see Ultaman, wrong side mind, and they doing these negativities, they don't occur to them doing something wrong, It don't occur to you that you're doing something wrong. You don't even come to the mind that you're doing something bad. Because why? You're so absorbed in negativity. You're so absorbed. So this is Gunanidhi. In his mind, he feels no remorse whatsoever. Beat his mother, stole everything, leave her hungry, tattered rags as we see, house, everything upside down. But devotees, she couldn't take it in again anymore. And what she did? Extremely depressed and dejected and unhappy. She jumped into a well and killed herself. That was the end of her. Now, killing herself, obvious, he remained alone in that house. Remain in a house alone, devotees. What happened? No mother, no father, no money, nothing else to thief. He might pipe out all the gavan or something. I don't know. Nothing else to thief. He remained right there, hungry, depressed, dejected, all alone. All alone. No, devotees, he's saying to himself, what I have, I have nothing. Let me leave and go. Let me leave and go. And devotees, leaving that spot, leaving that home, saying to himself, well, I have nothing else. Let me go and see if I can find something somewhere. You know what he really mean? Not happiness, to see if he can hook up somewhere else to start a thief again. Start a thief again. And all these things are reality, There are people who come in the house and want to play the nice to you and help you and things like that. All the time want to thief from you. That we have to watch them like a hawk, as we say. These real life situations here. So devotees, he left and he walked. But moving and walking, nobody wanted to take him in. Nobody. So what he did, according to what the Katha says here, it is said that while walking, and this was Shivatri there, just to mention, he was walking. And while walking, devotees, he came close to a temple. Close to a temple. Now condensing the Katha, close to a temple. And there, devotees, what he saw, he saw like how, devotees come to the temple in the evening time, bring all their sweets and they dress up nice something, and come into them to make the offerings. This is what he saw. And what he said to himself is that, this looks like a good target. So what I'll do, I'll sit right here and wait. And eventually, after the service, everything is completed, then what I will do, I have the opportunity to go and thief. So he gone by the temple, sit down there waiting, but in his mind he wanted to thief. But let us listen what happened. This is the important part, the 7. Listen to what happened here. So devotees under a tree opposite the temple. So the temple here, opposite. He sat under that tree, was coming close to sunset time. And what he saw everybody coming in one by one. These devotees, meanwhile, you are coming in. Like how, tomorrow you go to the various temples and they make your offer and they make all the prasad, etc. All of them are coming. All of them. Dressed very beautifully. Beautiful jewelry, etc. Not only that, various varieties of prasad, sweetmeats, mohan bhog, etc. So he's sitting there and his mind is saying, this opportunity I have. Many opportunities here. 1, I could steal gold, plenty gold. 2, I could get food to eat because I have prasad. So this is what is in his mind. So he's sitting there, devotees, and observing. Now, what happened? While the whole, puja, etc. was in process, all the nice, prasad, etc. started to smell of the place. So that get him very, very hungry. Very hungry. So he had that hunger in him, that hunger. So sitting there, looking on, what he did? He's just waiting patiently. Waiting patiently. And what he saw that when he see the Pandit offer prasad on the lingam, he would take a little piece of the prasad and put it there. Put it in the lingam. Sometimes when you come to offer here, or most of the time I make you do that, when you make your offering, take a little piece, whatever it may be it a grape, be it whatever, and offer it. So devotees, that was the Naivedya we refer to it too. So he saw that he's putting that there. So he's looking on. He's looking on. And sitting there very, very quietly observing. observing what is taking place, observing the puja being performed. So you see the bill up here? Now devotees, after all the offerings were made, what happened? It said they began to sing and dance, etc. Singing the kirtan of the Lord, dancing. He listened to the kirtan and observed all the festivities. For all the festivities. And devotees, what happened? Eventually, those who came from far, well, long time that walk very funding. So who came from far, they'll stay there in the temple in the night. And they will sleep overnight and get up early in the morning and go. Now, when everything was completed, all the puja offerings, etc., it is said, go and wait on the opportune time. On the opportune time. When he realized that everybody was sleeping. Everybody was sleeping. He wakened, he witnessed the puja, listened to the kirtan, listened to the bhajan, and all our personalities, he must make an offering to you never know. But devotees, the point about it here is that we wait for the opportune time. When he think that everybody slept away, what he did, he got up from under that tree. And we see tiptoe. In them cartoons, you see tiptoe in the toenail. So he tiptoe. And he went straight up to the lingam, passing it between everybody, not to cause no disruption. Now, what the purpose of going to the lingam was to steal. What he was going to steal? Prasad. Because you're hungry. First. That's the first thing, to steal prasad. So devotees, he went straight up to that lingam. And he's seeing in the darkness of that lingam, the prasad there. But he couldn't see clear. So what he did, what the Suji is saying here, is that he took a piece of his clothing. He tore a piece of his clothing and he made a wick. A batina. And he put it in that diya because the wick was outing. So the lingam was in darkness basically, sort of going on into darkness. But in order for him to steal, he don't want to take up a flowers and run away. He go eat the flowers. He had to see where his thief in. Even though thief who doesn't to see, But in this instance, he had to see what he's stealing. So he couldn't just stick up anything that he felt. No, what was prasad. So he take that piece of his clothes and he put it and he make a wick. So the whole in lingam became bright because he wanted to steal. And what he did? He took some of the prasad, put in his mouth. He filled up all the pocket and whatever he had, and he decided to leave. Now is the time for me to leave. But devotees, when they go in, it's hard, But you see, when they're done doing sharpness and they leave in, is the excitement, the anxiety is there. He had racing. Going in was easy, watching nice and cool and ever. But now he has so much other things to think about. He steal the prasad, he put it in his mouth, he pocket full. So he only concentrated on going outside and eating the prasad and filling his belly. That while walking now, what he did, he mashed one of them. He mashed one of the people. One of the individuals lying there. When he mashed that individual, devotees, they woke up and all they saw was a little shadow. And they bawled, chor, thief. And in there, man, when they bawled chor, you better run, When they said chor in there, man, they will catch it. I said for you. And exactly what happened, devotees, they began to run him down. They run him down, devotees. And they caught hold of him, simply put. And they put such a licking on him, devotees, that all his bones, everything was broken up. Bad licks. And eventually what happened? He died. Eventually he died. And here, devotees, upon dying now, this is another important part here. Now, he was a wicked individual. Remember, he's one who commit a lot of sins. It is said, the messengers of Yamdut, they came there immediately. It's like when somebody died, boom. That's rich. Immediately, same exact thing. Well, Yamraj is like them. Yamdut. So from the time he died, Yamdut is immediately to take the soul. They come with the last one thing like that, right? To take the soul and carry it away. Carry it to Yampur, as we say. And immediately as they also come, who arrived there? The attendants of Bhagwan Shankar. So now you have the attendants of Yamraj, Yamdut, and you have the attendants of Bhagwan Shankar. Both of them, they reach up, like the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Side by side, like array for battle. And devotees, it is said, the attendants of Bhagwan, of Yamraj said, what are you doing here? Why have you come here? Why? What's the point of coming here? This individual doesn't need to go to Shiv Lok. He's such a wicked person. Such a wicked person. What he did everything wrong, simply put. He didn't carry any family tradition. He discarded all injunctions of scriptures. He performed all prohibitions. He forsake the truth. He damaged his parents. He killed his mother. No purity. He didn't even perform Sandhya Bandhana. No sort of, purity for himself. Then why Why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. He have transgressed all parts of dharma. And not only that too, what he did? He ate from that naivedya, that offering of Bhagwan Shankar, eat from that. And by doing that offer to Bhagwan Shankar, that's a grave sin. No, there's a big difference when you see you offer the prasad and you bless it, and you say a mantra, and you offer it and you bow and carry it back. That is okay. That is blessed offering. But what they put in front of the murti should never be eaten. Should never be eaten. And what he says here, that he consumed that Shiva, that naivedya say, that naivedya, which if one offers that, one eats that, one develops sin, because that is the offering of Bhagwan Shankar. And not only that too, he disrespected the holy spot. He disrespected the holy spot. Therefore, there's no reason why he should be going to Shiv Lok. No, a counteract start here now. That the attendants of Bhagwan Shankar Shiva said, no, you are wrong. You are totally wrong. The Yamdut said, well, how we are wrong? We can look at the man's life. And Chitragupta pull up the whole scroll and show them everything he did wrong. But then the attendants of Bhagwan Shankar said, nahi. He performed great actions that qualifies him to go to Shiv Lok. What was that? So the messenger of Yamraj said, Yamdut, tell us, we are listening, let us hear. So the devotees say, tell me, tell me. You know we talk so? Tell me, let me hear what you have to say. Try to counteract. So they are counteracting the attendants of Bhagwan Shankar. And they said, oh Yamdut, oh followers of Yamraj, what he did? He did one important thing. First one, what was that? He removed the darkness from the lingam. He removed the darkness from the lingam. Shivratri night, the lingam should never ever be in darkness. Those who came to that spot there to perform sacrifices, yes, they make the portion offering, etc. But all them sleep away. That's why we don't go to the 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, you know. You think matchstick and proper pay and things like that. So better than 9 o'clock, go home and rest and get up in the morning early. All of we tired and we getting old. You understand? Because you know why? One of the main reasons why, besides safety, is a sin. It's a sin to come to the temple, to make a sacrifice, to wake whole night and sleep away. That is incurring a sin. And we have many ways we can incur sin. We have sins of omission and sins of commission. Sins of omission, where you omit two things, like your Panchmahayagya. And sins of commission, where you bring upon yourself sins. So this is a sin of commission. You need temple to sacrifice, to make sacrifices, but they can't wait for 6 o'clock in the morning. Your eye falling on. You go, oh God, boy, taking long. And it enter in all different directions. Better go home and sleep. You understand? So here, what he's saying is that he was the only one on that Shivratri night. Or everybody was there and they were all asleep. But what he did that most important act, keeping that lingam in light. That is why I have put the lingam on a floodlight right there. The lingam never in darkness. And this is an important thing. Sometimes people say, Baba, you want to establish a lingam. Establish a come and do whatever. But then, first question I have to ask, will it be maintained? Will it be maintained? You understand? They say, hey, Baba, I can do it, but you're going to die eventually. What about the continuation? That's why we keep telling people, don't do things that you cannot maintain. Do not do things, don't start things that you cannot continue. Better take it simple, easy. A lingam in your home, you don't have to stop and carry it and things like that. Blow life into the pram pratishtha, as we say. You put it down and you worship it. But here, devotees, in those temples, pram pratishtha, life was blown into the lingam. Therefore, it should never be in darkness. So what the followers of Bhagwan Shankar are saying, most important, he removed that shadow from that lingam, using that lamp. And not only that too, he used his own clothes, which represents paropakar, service. He took part of his own, whatever he had, his own offering, whatever he had for himself, and offered it to Bhagwan Shankar, making a wick to put that lingam in light. Not only that too, and I mentioned it before, what they said, he sat outside that temple and listened. This is why we say listening is so important. He listened to the katha. Even though he had stealing in his mind, he couldn't wait for one to sleep away to give the naivir. But what he did, his mind was so engrossed, he wasn't focusing on anything else except listening. Listening for when they're finishing, but he listening intensely. Mind not wavering whatsoever. And I'm sure many of you, including myself, mind waver for the evening already. That's a fact. We can't have that. But this is going to need he. Even though his intention wasn't right, but what he did, he listened to the katha. Not only that, he witnessed the worship of Bhagwan Shankar. And how he did that? For the entire night, what he did? he stared at lingam without moving. His eyes was pinned upon that lingam. Pinned upon that lingam. Nothing else mattered. No matter who passed any wrong, his eyes was focused on that lingam. So here, he witnessed the worship of Bhagwan Shankar being performed. And not only that, total concentration. Total concentration for nothing else on his mind. Even though he was hungry, tired, beaten, whatever the case may be, but his whole concentration was on Bhagwan Shankar. Listening to the prayer, Om Namah Shivaya. Not reciting Om Namah Shivaya because he wanted to pray, but because he wanted it to finish so that he can go and do what he has to do. Therefore, O followers of Yamaraj, this qualifies him to go to Shivalok. And simply put, they couldn't argue with them. They couldn't argue with him, with the followers of Yamaraj. So the followers of Bhagwan Shankar said, "Oh Yamaraj, return to your home, return to your abode, and we will take this individual Gunanidhi to Shivlok." And here they said, when he go to Shivlok, he'll be free from all sins because of his actions. He'll be free from all sins. He'll become pure. He'll become sinless. And not only that too, the hereafter, he'll be born as a great king known as Kalingaraj. Kalingaraj, he'll be the king of a city known as Kalinga. And in that city, he'll be born as a Brahman. And devotees, to wrap up the whole katha here now, as I said, after, he went to Shivlok, he served Bhagwan Shankar for a while. Kailash Parvat served. And then in the next birth, so that alone is our next katha by itself, the hereafter reincarnation. But in next birth devotees, he was born as the king of Kalinga. Kalingaraj, the king of Kalinga. And devotees, it is said from a very, very young age, from childhood, he showed out the inclination to the worship of Bhagwan Shankar. And not only that too, influenced his friends, etc., to worship Bhagwan Shankar. After a while, his father departed. His father died, and he took over as king of the city. And what happened? He was responsible for establishing Shivlinga, not Shivlinga, Shivalaya throughout the whole of that country. And an order was given that in every single Shivalaya, there must be a light at that lingam. And what is mentioned here? That if ever at any of the Shivalaya that there was no light, whoever was responsible there, simply put, they were punished. They were punished. Because this is his birth. His birth was to serve Lord Shiva. I said, give him this responsibilities, give him this, instruction as such. Throughout the whole of that city, temples were established in the name of Bhagwan Shankar. And lamps were donated by the millions to different individuals so that they can keep that lingam in light. And devotees, he lived out his life. And he became one of the most renowned devotees of Bhagwan Shankar. So you see where he came from? From Gunanidhi. Guna means qualities, Nidhi means fountain. Gunanidhi, the fountain of qualities, negativities. And then he reincarnated. That Gunanidhi himself reincarnated as Lingaraja, that king of Kalinga, and was responsible for the establishment of Shivalaya throughout, and putting those lingams in light, those mandirs in light. And he himself, as I mentioned, was a great devotee of Bhagwan Shankar. A great devotee of Bhagwan Shankar. And here, as I mentioned in the beginning, that Suji Maharaj is saying, that O Saunak Aras, that this katha, as mentioned in the beginning, who listens to this katha, who get themselves absorbed in this katha, they become Gunanidhi. They become Gunanidhi. And what Nidhi, which Guna we speak about? Positivity. The fountain of positivity. So the Gunanidhi that you're transformed as katha helps you to transform from Gunanidhi to Gunanidhi. You understand what I mean? From the fountain of impurities to the fountain of purity. This is the metaphysical aspect. That all negativities, if one should have negativities, the lower tendencies, by worshipping the lingam, by worshipping Bhagwan Shankar, by performing sacrifices in the name of that Lord, it is said one transformed also the Gunanidhi, but from a positive point of view. From a positivity. One who has great qualities. Great qualities. You become a bhakt. Just by listening to this katha, you become a bhakt of Bhagwan Shankar. You become a bhakt. Listening to it, all fulfillment and all desires are fulfilled. So devotees, this is the power of the katha. And it goes on, otherwise, etc., but we stop it here. So this is the point for all of us, Now, there was no Gunanidhi was an individual that was of a negative nature. Whatever he did, he made that sacrifice. And you know, he do that unconsciously. Look at it from this point there. He did that unconsciously, and look at the blessings he get. And we just do it consciously. And build anything. We don't even get quarter what he gets. Look at it like that. We don't get quarter what he gets. And he did it unconsciously. So if we do that, every action like this consciously, imagine how much more blessings we're going to get. You see, plenty times, we say Shivratri, and all we obsess about Shivratri. Let me wake. I'm going to wake whole night. I'm going to offer you only 3 hours. As a matter of fact, somebody called me and said, Baba, when is the timing? Let me hear. I say, okay, well, 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening to 3 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6. He said, okay, well, I'm going to do the 3 per hell. I said, so you weekend whole night? He said, no, I'll go offer, go and sleep and set the alarm and get up and offer again. This evening. So you go offer 6 o'clock, go and sleep, set the alarm for 12 o'clock, get up, offer, go back and sleep, set the alarm for 3 o'clock. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. You have no benefit to get from that. So the whole thing about it is that obsession. You know why? We figure we will get sin. We think we're going to get sin. But you see, it's better, according to the Shankaracharya always say, simiti, jalabar hit lava. Drop by drop, the bucket will full. Drop by drop. Now, if you see you could make it, all well and good. But this is why we say based on time, place, and circumstance. Time, place, and circumstance. It's difficult. By that time, people lie down hanging on already. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole thing about that, you go home, offer, set the alarm, wake up and offer. Set the alarm, wake up and offer. Set the alarm, wake. That is waste of time. So here the devotee, what he did, unconsciously he did this action, and he got some blessings. But what we should do, the little bit of time that we have, and this is the advice for tomorrow. Little bit of time that we have, we do it conscientiously. This is what is important. You put aside everything. Forget everything. All pains, all whatever it may be, and focus. It's just a little bit of time that we have. Little bit of time. We do whatever we have to do, with 100% concentration. And when we have completed our sacrifice, well, you go home and set the alarm and wake up 12 o'clock and offer. And then go set down, wake up 3 o'clock, and set down, wake up 6 o'clock. Right? And then go back and sleep and wake up 10 o'clock next morning. Oh God, I wake whole night. I'm tired. I will take a day off. You understand? So the point about it is that this is why we say little bit. We wake till 9. We make our offerings, whatever. But it's all based on every individual's own circumstance. So here Gunanidhi, right, is all of us. All of us. We are the fountains of virtues. Right? Guna, qualities. But the type of qualities we are. We have to transform from negativity into positivity. And by performance of these sacrifices, this is the metaphysical aspect. Performance of these sacrifices, one can overcome all negativities. Boli Syamapati Mahadeva ki Jai. So devotees, before we go into our final pratna, arati, let us glorify Bhagwan Shankar, a bhajan that I love very much, devotees. I'm sure many of you also know this bhajan. We can join. Jai Bhola Bandari, Shivahar, Jai Bhola Bandari. We seek the welfare of that Lord. On a daily basis, we meditate upon you, recite your name, O Prabhu, prostrations upon you. Have mercy upon us, O Tripurari. And this is what we ask for. For he is the destroyer of all sins. Tina tap, the 3 types of sin. Dehik, Devik, Bhautik tap. He releases us from all difficulties. For he is the Father of creation. We seek your protective shelter, O Prabhu. Jai Bhola Bhandari Shivahar, Jai Bhola Bhandari, Jai Bhola Bhandari Shivahar, Jai Bhola Bhandari. Jai Kailashpati Shiva Shankar, Jai Kailashpati Shiva Shankar, Sab jag ke hitkari, Jai Bhola Bhandari Shivahar, Jai Bhola Bhandari.
निश दिन तेरा ध्यान करे हम, सुमिरो मंत्र तिहारा। हे शिव शंकर मंत्र जगाओ, होवे गत उजियारा। नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, कृपा करो त्रिपुरारी। जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। शंकरनाद से शब्द जगाकर स्वर संगीत बहाया। युग युग से ये सृष्टि नाचे, ऐसा डमरू बजाया। तेरे याद भुला के जग में, तेरे याद भुला के जग में, दुख पावे संसारे। जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। ताप हरण कर लेता ये त्रिशूल तिहारा। तेरा नाम जपे से जग में मिलता मुक्ति द्वारा। महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, आए शरण तिहारे। जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी। जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। ओ जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। ओ जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी। Devotees, for a minute or so, let's glorify Bhagwan Shankar. Simple kirtan with a voice together. Namah Shivaya Shadaya Bam Bhola Baba. Namah Shivaya Shadaya Bam Bhola Baba. Namah Shivaya
Shantaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Devotees, let's use our voices to glorify. We can use our hands to clap. This is the whole purpose of devotion. Using the senses for perception, the Jnanendriyas, the Karamendriyas also, all aspects of the human being to glorify that Lord. This is the purpose of devotion. Putting ourselves in the frame of devotion, prepare ourselves to worship the Lord and Master Bhagwan Shankar tomorrow. We start from now. Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Om Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba,
Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba.
Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba, Bam
Bhola Baba, Bam Bhola Baba.
Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Shadaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bam Bhola Baba.
Om
शांताय बम बोला बाबा
नमः शिवाय शांताय बम बोला बाबा
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय शंभु नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय शंभु नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय शिव नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय शिव
Everybody,
नमः शिवाय
बोलो। नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय Om Namah Shivaya. So devotees, we focus upon Bhagwan. Please all stand as we perform our final pratna for this evening. While the art is being sung, I'll duly pass around devotees and you make your offerings. Om Jai Shiva Omkara Har Shiva Omkara Om Jai Shiva Omkara
हरे शिव ओंकारा
Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangidhara Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangidhara Jai Shiva Omkara Har Shiva Omkara Om
जय शिव ओंकारा हरे शिव ओंकारा
एकानंद चतुरानन पंचानन राजे एकानंद चतुरानन पंचानंद राजे हंसासन गरुदासन वृषवाहन साजे
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव
दो भुज चार चतुर भुज दस भुज अति सोहे दो भुज चार चतुर भुज दस भुज अति सोहे तीनों रूप निरखता त्रिभुवन जन मोहे
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव
अक्षमाल वनमाला रुद्रमाला धारी अक्षमाल वनमाला रुद्रमाला धारी चंदन मृग मद चंदा भाले शुभकारी
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव
श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बागंबर अंगे श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बागंबर अंगे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक भूतादिक संगे
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर हर
करके मध्यकमण्डल चक्र त्रिशूल धरता करके मध्यकमण्डल चक्र त्रिशूल धरता जग करता यज्ञ भरता जग संहार करता
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव जानत अविवेका ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव जानत अविवेका प्रणव अक्षर दो मध्य ये तीनों एका
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव
त्रिगुण स्वामी जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे त्रिगुण स्वामी जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी सुख संपत्ति पावे
ओम हर 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 महादेव 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 ओम हर 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 महादेव
विभूति समृद्धि ज्वाइन दम 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 डमरू बजे डमरू बजे डमरू बजे डमरू बजे हरे भोलेनाथ शिव डमरू बजे
दम 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 डमरू बजे हरे भोलेनाथ शिव डमरू बजे
पार्वती शंकर डमरू बजे
डमरू बजे
पार्वती शंकर डमरू बजे
डमरू बजे
ओम घन 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 घंटा बजे
घंटा बजे
ओम दम 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 डमरू बजे
डमरू बजे
हे भोलेनाथ शिव डमरू बजे
हरे भोलेनाथ
everybody
शिव डमरू
बोलो
बजे
दम 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 दम
डमरू बजे डमरू बजे डमरू बजे डमरू बजे
बोलो
डमरू बजे डमरू बजे
बोलो
डमरू बजे डमरू बजे हरे भोलेनाथ शिव 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 डमरू बजे
दम दम दम
दम दम डमरू बजे
बोलो
डमरू बजे डमरू बजे
शिवा
डमरू बजे हरे डमरू बजे हरे भोलेनाथ शिव डमरू बजे हरे भोलेनाथ शिव डमरू बजे हरे भोलेनाथ शिव डमरू बजे
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम मृत्युंजय महादेव त्राहि मां शरणागतं जन्म मृत्यु जरा रोगै पीडितं कर्म बंधन ओम नमः शंभवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च शिवाय च शिवतराय च ओम नमः शिवाय एवरीबॉडी ओम नमः शिवाय 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 ओम शिव हरे शिव राम सखे प्रभु त्रिविधताप निवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरम् प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम् ओ मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय सुहरि ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय यूनिवर्सल प्रेयर बी जॉइन ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ओम शान्तिः Shanti Shanti Hari Om. Loudly, powerfully. Bole Simapati Mahadev ki jai. Shashakti Devi Mata ki jai. Ganajan Swami ki jai. Pavana Putra Hanuman ki jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Sri Swaha Mata ki jai. Blessings to all. Please be seated. And devotees, I left this part for last because I know most of you tomorrow will be using this special mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. So this evening, Agnishwar will give us the meaning of Om Namah Shivaya.
Panch Akshar Mantra. The Panch Akshar Mantra, a 5-syllable mantra in praise of Bhagwan Shiva, is one of the 5 mantras given by Bhagwan Shankar at the time of creation. The ancient formula Om Namah Shivaya, a wish-fulfilling mantra, is also found in the Vedas. The word Namaha means prostration, adoration, or homage, while Shivaya means the auspicious one, that absolute reality, and the one who is the indweller in all beings. Translated, this means, I bow to you, Lord Shiva. A brief look at the syllables that comprise the mantra indicates some of the attributes of Lord Shiva. For example, Na Nagendra, the one who wears the garland of snakes. Ma Mandakini Salila, the one whose hair is adorned by Ganga Mata. Shiva, the Supreme Lord, the one who symbolizes the ultimate goal of existence. Vashisht, who praises the Lord. Ya, the one who is the form of Yaksh. The five syllables can be said to signify the 5 elements of the subtle body. These constitutive principles with the Tan mantras are Akash, ether, sound; Vayu, wind, sound and touch; Tejas, fire, sound, touch and form; Jal, water, sound, touch, form and taste; Prithvi, earth, sound, touch, form, taste and smell. The primordial sound Om, the pranav or seed mantra used at the beginning of this, and indeed all mantras, carries many energies, for it has inherited in it the 5-folding duties of Param Shiva. The chanting of Om greatly enhances one's own creativity, sustaining and destroying energies. In the worship of Shiva Bhagwan, when the Panch Akshar mantra is chanted with Omkar Pranav, it leads one to the highest of spiritual perfection. Every syllable of the mantra activates some part of the body, thus pushing the hasan, the activation of the chakras or energy centers. And energy centers are activated, the spiritual aspirant is led out of the state of ignorance. Wisdom bursts forth, and one transcends the tattvas. The quality of Vairagya or dispassion is developed, and one is led to the state of highest consciousness, where one realizes the truth of Mahavakyas. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. This Shiva mantra can be chanted in the following way, adding to its auspiciousness and efficiency. Om Namaha Shivaya Shivam Shivam Kuru Kuru Shivaya Namo Om.